Sandra Embleton here. I just wanted to guide and direct this energy of this video to those people who would be maybe scholars, maybe people who have studied religion, professors, teachers, ministers, priests, those people who are focused and have made it their life focus to understand how we can expect to see Christ return. I have made this a study of mine as well. I have spent 30 years researching this, and I would just like to share a little bit of what I've learned. And I'm going to really ask your indulgence as I do my best to state what I'd like to say. I think we've set this up, and perhaps those people that have been in charge politically or in charge of a belief system, I think we have set it up so that we have made it next to impossible to ever witness the return of Jesus. And how we have done it is that we have set it up in a frame that has to look like this. And according to this, it's going to come like this. And when we construct, erect, and build ideas and thoughts around us and make them firm, make them, this is the way it's going to be, and this is how I know it's safe to believe this, and this is the way it's going to be. And I don't believe that God works that way. I believe He's always introducing something new. If you've watched any of my videos or followed my work, I'm a big believer that our souls go on forever. Having been a student of God for a long time, He has shared with me that because the soul goes on forever, and we always have been, and we always will be, we have the history of our soul's journey actually within us. And it is God's gift to us when we follow Him and have a relationship with Him, that He gives us many gifts. And one of the gifts He's given me is the ability to remember some of my soul's lifetimes. The lifetimes that I have been focusing on was my lifetime at the time when Christ walked the earth, and my lifetime in Camelot, and my lifetime now. I have written books, and my fourth book, actually, that will come out hopefully this year, focuses on those three lifetimes: the time of Christ, the time of Camelot, and the time of now. And I have done my best to show how they are linked, showed how our soul is constantly coming here again and again and again, having different experiences, but we remember those experiences. Just like when Jesus was given the gifts of turning water into wine and walking on water, and the healing energies that came through Him, those were gifts given to Him by God. And I believe, according to what has come on for me this lifetime, one of the gifts He also gave Jesus was the ability to leave His body and come back again. And because we believe that He did that, I think the false belief is that He's the only one that can do it. I believe that is something we all can aspire to. It was given to Him and is given to us as sons and daughters of God. Christ's return is something that everybody debates. But here's the thing that I really realized. So if I tell you a story that I witnessed and met Jesus and that I know he returned, what are the chances you're going to believe me? I think they're very non-existent, because it wasn't your experience is why. You can't believe my story because it's not true for you. It's not what you know. But I'm going to say that I have witnessed Jesus return. I know that it was him, and how I know is God put the knowing in me. And because God's gift to me was the knowing that I met his son, I now know it's possible for us to go and return. Now, not everybody is going to be able to hear this and accept it as a truth. But if you were walking along the street, or you were sitting in a restaurant, and you met an individual and you heard or saw part of him or something about him that you knew, or you received the belief that this person was Jesus, how would you react to that? What would you do to that? What would you do? Could you tell anybody? Would you keep it to yourself? Why would God have that experience happen to you and then give you the knowing that that person was Jesus if it wasn't so? So I think what I'm trying to say, maybe I'm not doing a very good job of it, is I think when Jesus returns to us, it's an individual encounter. That's what I think. And I don't think we receive Jesus' second coming as a mass populace. I think we receive it as an individual awakening, each and every one of us, that he comes to individually. And I make this statement because you can't really believe in something you don't know. You can believe in the prophets and you can believe in the prophecies, but what you really don't understand is God's always got the last card. I don't believe he's going to give us the same test as he did before. It's like an exam we've already written. Some people passed, some people failed. When Jesus walked the earth, you either knew he was the Son of God or you didn't. And how did you know if he was the Son of God or not? God put the knowing in you. Remember, he's saying to Peter, he's having a conversation with him, and he says, okay, Peter, what do people say about me? Tell me what people say about me. And Peter says, well, they say that you're the Messiah, you're the Son of God. And he said, well, who do you think I am? Like, who do you believe that I am? And he says, well, I do. I believe you're Jesus. I believe you're the Son of God. And he said, you would not know that unless my Father put it in you. So it's God's grace upon us that allows us to know his Son. And is that privilege given to a large number of people, or is it just given to some people? And it's up to those some people who get that information to share it and pass it on. And isn't that how the gospel of Jesus Christ got spread in the first place? There was a handful of people that actually really knew and believed he was the Son of God. Without his Saul becoming Paul, meaning Christ on the road to Damascus, he never would have converted at all. But he had a supernatural experience that left no doubt in his mind, and then he was a zealot killing Christians, and now he was a zealot saving them. So it was like two extremes, black and white, but you couldn't have convinced him. He had to know it. He had to have Jesus come to him himself before he believed it. And my point is, that's the same with us. To look for him in a cloud, even if I said I saw Jesus, I was standing out in my front lawn and Jesus came down to earth in a cloud in a chariot, would you believe me? I doubt it. You'd probably go, some crazy lady's claiming she saw Jesus come down from the clouds in a chariot and now he's back. You wouldn't believe me, just like they didn't believe Jesus either. And what we want to remember about that story is the Jewish Sanhedrin and the Sadducees, they were invested in maintaining the laws to the exclusion they couldn't hear anything new. Don't tell me anything new. You're a blasphemer. You're a liar. Don't tell me blah, 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 blah. I don't want to hear anything new. So if, let's say Jesus is coming again now, and he is here now, do you want to meet him? Would you like to have an encounter and actually meet that soul that walked the earth as a man, that walked as Jesus? Would you like to meet him? I believe you can. I believe it's a matter of believing that you personally will someday meet him in this lifetime, because chances are he's always been available for you to meet every single lifetime you've incarnated. But if you don't believe in reincarnation, you're not even going to hear what I'm saying, because you've made a boundary. You've decided, hey, I can't believe this because the Bible says this and this says this. Go on your journey. Go on your journey. Find as much as you can out about the Bible, like I did. Find as much as you can out about history. Find as much as you can about religious institutions. Find out as much as you can about how the Bible was written. And find out as much as you can by having a relationship with God. Don't follow, believe, and idolize Jesus. Do what he did. Walk the path he walked. First, establish the kingdom of heaven. In order to do that, you've got to gain entrance into it, and you got to make friends with the guy who's in charge. You got to make friends with God. You got to make friends with God. Seek ye first the kingdom of heaven, and all things will be revealed to you. Establish your relationship with God. Pray, meditate, invite him in, and be with him. Talk with him. Make him your best friend, and ask him continually if you can be of service. It's in the surrendering of our life and making God our king, being his servant. That is the power. That is the whole secret to entrance into the kingdom of heaven. But most of us have been taught that if we pray, we go to God and we ask God, can you help me with this? I'm sick with this. I need money for this. Can you help me? My son needs this. God, you're constantly asking God to be your servant. You're constantly asking God to be and do your will. Do you really want God to be your servant? Or do you want him to be your God? Being his servant has so many advantages, because you get to relax and you get to release and you get to let go of control, and you make your life about doing his bidding. Ask for nothing, want for nothing, and know that he is there to supply everything. All things are possible when you enter into the kingdom, even if you want to meet Jesus. You can. You can meet him this lifetime. He is a reality, and you can meet him, because I have. So I know it's possible. But what sets me apart from others is I had to let go of what I was programmed to believe. And I had to go off on my own journey out into the desert for 40 days and 40 nights, for as long as it took for me to understand and know that my journey here is to know God. And once you do that, heaven opens up, miracles happen, and the impossible becomes possible. You become co-creators with God. And you do this by surrendering and being a servant. And he will reveal all secrets to you and all things. I know there's a lot to learn. There's a lot to be said. And the reason it's a narrow road that leads to God, to kingdom, is because you have to really want it. You have to be sincere. You have to have no hidden agenda. It's not about you obtaining power over or getting something from it. It's about you, yourself, coming to know God and having that friendship and that great relationship with him. And once you do, You can meet everybody in the kingdom. You can meet more people than Jesus. You can meet Moses. You can meet Abraham. You can meet all the great prophets that ever were. Elijah. You can meet Buddha. You can meet Krishna. You can meet Krishna. You can meet all those beings that ever have been, that exist in the kingdom. It's all possible because the soul never dies and it keeps coming back again and again and again. Only every time we come we have a different bag of skin on. And that's what makes it a mystery. That's what makes it exciting. When you understand that you are more than this physical world shows us. This is a true thing. There's a little bell going off, which means yes, it's a true thing. The physical world shows us our limitations. The spiritual world shows us our limitlessness. We're all here again and again and again. And that makes this the most exciting place to be. It's like Indiana Jones discovering a treasure every single day. I met Mama Cass. I met Jim Morrison. I've yet to meet Moses, but I've met Confucius. I've met angels. I've met King Arthur. I've met King Solomon. I've met King David. I've met Pilate. I've met King Herod. I've met so many amazing souls because I'm in the kingdom. God's allowed me into the kingdom. And that's where we want to aspire to, because it's the best place in the world. And every day is a miracle. I wanted to share this with you because it is my hope, by sharing my story, others will aspire to walk the path, walk that narrow path. Seek ye out God, be friends with Him, talk to Him, spend time alone with Him, be still with Him, ask Him what you can do for Him, give Him your life, give Him the whole thing, and He will make you His. He will bring you into His kingdom, and that is heaven on earth. Heaven is not some place we go to. It's a state of being in the now. Being in heaven is being present with God. All right, that being said, that little bell going off again, it's my daughter calling me, so I better answer my cell phone. Thanks for listening. We'll talk again.